Now we're going to look at completing a form. Now I'm logged in as Test Contractor 2 and I'm going to be completing a company form. So on the home screen, click on Company Forms, and then what it's going to do is it's going to drill down into the types of forms that are available to me. Now, a type of forms you'll have dependent upon what's been created within your company. Now I'm going to be doing a site inspection checklist. So I click on that and then the form will load. And it'll take a few seconds depending on how the speed of the internet and obviously the size of the form itself. Now, as you can see here, we've got a number of fields. Most of the fields will be text fields, but we have got a few other ones like a drop-down list for the project workplace name, a rotation list. So select the project name and then click on OK, and then that will populate that field. Underneath that you can see the date fields, which by default populates with today's date. And if you want to change that, click on the icon and then you can navigate to the date. But I'm just going to accept the default date. Now, depending on which project or workplace name you selected, the next field will show the sites for that particular place. Those have been registered. Then if you want to change that or append it, then just click into the field and then your keyboard will show. Underneath that's the notes field, which is self-explanatory. And then we scroll down and then we're into the meat of the actual form itself. Depending on the form, there's going to be quite a lot of information that you need to fill out, but the functionality is pretty much the same. Now, what you'll need to do is work through the particular areas, and to fill them in, you click on the question mark, and then you'll be able to add actions or photographs and comments for whatever you need. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these because it'll take quite some time, but the one that I'm just going to show you the functionality on is the site PPE. So I'm going to click on the question mark there, and then as you can see here, I've got some text at the top, a text field, then I've got 3 radio buttons, an action photo and some comments. Now with radio buttons, you can only select one item. So if it's been checked, I would select checked, but as soon as if it isn't checked or not applicable, then as soon as I select that, it will deselect the checked option. Some of the fields that you'll fill out will be multiple checked items, so that means you can select more than one, okay? So it all depends on the actual field and what you need to complete yourself. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add an action. So I click on the action button, and then the action form will display. As we did before, click on the drop-down list and then you can scroll through all of the action types that have been created for your particular form. Now I'm going to select Employee Procedure Breach, and then in Details of Issue, just a quick summary of what it is, no PPE, and then the action to be taken, and there we go. And then when I scroll down, we've got the Test Contractor 2 with a drop-down list. You may or may not be able to change this depending on your own configuration. And then underneath that, we have the responsible person. You click in this field, and this is a searchable field. So you type in the name of the person who is actually responsible for this particular action, and then as soon as I start typing, the system will match this to those that it recognizes, and it'll display their names. And click on them to select them, and then the last field in this particular case, date to be closed out by, and then click on the date icon, and then I'll just do it for the purposes of this exercise 1 week from today, which is the 10th of July. And there we go, that's the action done. So I click on the Done button, and I'm then taken back to my inspection checklist. Now we're going to look at adding and editing a photograph. To add a photograph, all you need to do is click on the photo icon, and then you'll be taken through to your own device's media area. And then you can click on the Add Photo button, and then you're given 2 options. One is to take a photo, which if I do that, is kind of self-explanatory. Click on the back arrow to go back to the media area, on the Add Photo again, and the other option is to click on the open photo. Now I'm pretty sure that you're familiar with doing this on your own device. This is a new phone for me, so I'm going to click on set as default for my albums. And then it will show me the albums and other areas that I have on my own phone here. So I just click on camera and then I can select a picture. So I'm just going to select the top left and then I'm taken back to the media storage area. Now if you want to add more photos, just repeat the process. And you can continue, and I'll just add a third one. Oh, there you go. I'll add one of my mother-in-law's dog, and that's how you add photos to the storage. If you've added all that you need to, click on the back button, and it will take you back to the checklist. To edit a photo, click on the photo, and the editing screen will show. And this is self-explanatory. Along the bottom there, you've got a series of colors. So let's say, for example, I want to create a yellow markup, and then I can draw on the screen as such. Now, if I want to save my markup, then of course I click on the save button. If I want to start again, let's say change the color to red, I can click on the clear button, and then I can change the color to red and do that. If I want to undo my last action, I do that. So let's say I'll draw on 2, and it will undo them one at a time, like so. The eraser allows me to rub out part of the image itself. So if I click on eraser, then if I wanted to remove poor little Victor's tail, like so, then there I am, all fingers and thumbs, and I can basically just do that like so. Okay, and then when you're done, click on close, and then you go back to the media storage area. Now, as you'll see there, I didn't save any changes to the image. If you wanted to save them, so let me just color in Victor's tail with red, then I would click on save, then I click on close, and there, as you can see, those changes are saved. If you want to delete a photo from the media storage area, click on the edit button at the top, and then you'll see the circle added to each image. Now I'm going to just delete the one photograph, that of Victor and his red tail. So I select the particular image, and as you can see, a tick appears in the circle, and what that means is it's marked for deletion. And then all I need to do now, when I'm ready to delete, click on the delete icon and then select the confirmation. When I've finished in the media area, I've added all the photos that I need to do. I click on the back button and I'm taken back to my checklist. The actions and the photos will appear in the finished report. They won't actually appear on screen here. And then what you'll do is you'll go through, complete the rest of the form, and then when ready, you can complete and sign off the form itself. So you can add the name of the signee. My name's Russ Crowley, so I'm going to type in, surprise, surprise, Russ Crowley. And if I click away, I'm taken back to my form. If this needs to be completed and signed off by additional signatories, then click on the completed by plus arrow, and then I'll add Brendan's name like so. And as you can see, we have a sign button for each signatory. So for myself, I'm going to sign this as, if my signature looks as bad as it does now, then I can just click on reset to do that. And then I can re-sign it and make it marginally better. And then I will click on save, and then it's down to Brendan to sign it for his part. Now I will just sign it BD, click on save, and then that's the form complete. And now I can click on done or done and export.